A feature presentation.
Maybe we should try to calm Dad down.
I prefer to egg him on. Hey, Dad, has
GTA 6 release yet?
What is up, everyone? It's the Natural here, and welcome back to another video on the channel. And we are back yet again with another TMIR Extra video. The show that pretty much gives you everything that I have missed in my main show. TMIR This Month in Review goes into this mini series, this mini little show. Yeah, that's pretty much it, really. So, what have I missed in the month of October of 2021? Dave Chappelle is getting cancelled by the LGBTQ community.
Hey, where'd he go?
Dave Chappelle is one of the biggest comedians in America. He has his own Netflix show called The Closer, and a couple of other comedy shows as well. I think he even did a couple of other award shows and stuff like that. So he's a massive comedian in America. Like I said, on his Netflix show, The Closer, he said a lot of things in his comedy little special that offended a lot of the LGBTQ community. Said a lot of jokes that were sort of against sort of trans people, and etc. etc. And they weren't best pleased with the jokes he said, and they were at headquarters of Netflix and protested. I would say I think it's a little tiny bit pathetic, really, the fact that Dave Chappelle did a couple of little jokes and everybody's going up in arms about it is a little bit ridiculous, to be honest, because, I mean, come on, they're just jokes. They're not really in any distaste. Dave Chappelle is not disrespecting the, trans or the LGBTQ community. He's just doing jokes. I do it all the time with the simps, who donate money to chicks on OnlyFans. I do it for the meme. I do it for, well, jokes, for fun, sort of thing. You don't see the bunch of absolute, cave dweller living in the mom's basement in terms of, the simps coming at me sort of thing and saying, hey man, we don't like you, we think your jokes are absolutely disrespectful and we want you cancelled the high on end. Going back to Dave Chappelle, look, I've watched some of his, comedy. It's not my type of comedy that I really am interested in. He's not like John Oliver or Russell Howard. Those two for me are my two favourite comics. Two favourite comedians, and I just sort of, think with Dave Chappelle, he's a comedian, he tells jokes, he says a lot of things, he jokes a lot of things. You have to sort of not take it into context, really, what he says, sort of thing, because they're jokes, sort of thing. He jokes about a lot of things. And I would think about the LGBTQ community, I understand, he did do jokes that are, on the sort of edgy side, but I would also say that to cancel Dave Chappelle and say, I don't think this man should be on Netflix anymore, the fact that he's on Netflix is a joke. Let's not forget that Cuties was a movie where you see minor girls twerking. That's on Netflix, that's still on Netflix. You can literally pause this video right now, go on your Netflix app, on your TV or your games console or your phone, and you type Cuties in, it's there. So I would say that, if you're going to cancel Dave Chappelle, you probably should cancel Netflix as a whole for promoting movies that is pretty much... I can understand the criticism from Dave Chappelle. I can understand the criticism from the LGBTQ community. I get it. We're not living in the 90s anymore. We're not living in the 80s, the 70s, or the 60s anymore, where racism, discrimination, what sex you are, what race you are, what religion you are, that is completely and utterly, we're not in that period anymore. But I would also say you sort of need to be aware of what you say, what you do, and what you think online, or whatever you're doing in the world, like, because cameras are around you. Simple as that. It's pretty much impossible to get away with certain things that you do and expect not to get criticism. That's just the way we are in civilization and humanity we are right now. That's pretty much it, really. I just think Dave Chappelle, just let him do what he does. Sort of thing. Yeah, he probably needs to be aware of what he says, but for me, I think this story has blew out of flipping proportion because, again, ladies and gentlemen, jokes are jokes. There's bigger problems in the world than trying to cancel a comedian because you don't like his jokes.
Ty? Samochód zjechał. O Boże!
EA Sports are getting rid of the name FIFA.
You're letting me go?
FIFA, your name is too expensive and we decided that it's best if you no longer work with us anymore.
So that's it after 20 years. So long, good luck?
I don't recall saying good luck.
This, for me, is a big story and a massive story because there's people out there who probably have no idea what football is, or soccer if you're American, but they know the game FIFA. They know the video game FIFA. And now the fact that EA are now going to change the name because of the football governing body, FIFA, not being happy with EA in terms of giving them, they wanted 4 billion, I think 1 billion in 4 years in terms of having their name in their game. And obviously EA weren't best pleased with that, and they are saying, no thank you, we don't want to pay 1 billion every 4 years, we're going to sort of have our own name, sort of thing. Whatever happens, it is a massive statement for a gaming industry like EA Sports, which is one of the biggest in gaming. It's up there with Rockstar, it's up there with Naughty Dog and all those massive gaming companies. The fact that they single-handedly were like, no, we don't like to be told what to do. We sort of think, no, we're not paying you $1 billion every year. We're promoting your bloody, sport, so, sort of thing. So, but I would also say, I don't think EA are also in the right in this, because let's not forget, FIFA has been probably terrible for a long time. I've always been a guy who always buys FIFA every year. I bought every FIFA, simple as that, including the new one. I bought FIFA 22, and the game's the same. The gameplay is always the same. The game mechanics are the same. They've always sort of, let's all just go in an ultimate team, FUT champions and so on, and then just not care about the other game modes, which for me is career mode and pro clubs, which for me is the two best game modes on FIFA. But yeah, we watch this space for further intent. Really, I may have to come back to this and say that maybe they have come to an agreement, FIFA, the football governing body, and EA have come to an agreement, but at the minute it looks like they're going their separate ways. Also, there's a new Uncharted movie. The trailer for that was released, and let's say it's mixed reviews. Let's say mixed signals, really. Some people like it, and I think it doesn't look half that bad. But a lot of people are sort of saying, Mark Wahlberg as Sully, really? Mark Wahlberg, Sully, the guy from Ted to be Sully? Probably nobody has heard of Uncharted. It's a video game series all about treasure, all about finding incredible, amazing, lost cities sort of thing. It's a game series I absolutely love. It's one of my favorite game series I've ever played. Nathan Drake's an amazing character. You got Alina, you've got Chloe, you've got Sam, many other amazing characters, Sully as well. I'm not going in with huge expectations saying this movie could be the best, but I'm really intrigued. I'm really intrigued to see how it's going to be. This is a story you don't really hear or see very often. A testicle birth control device won Germany's Dyson top prize.
What? What the fuck?
But I think this story is definitely not the maddest story I've ever seen, but definitely the maddest invention I've ever seen, because Dyson thought it'd be an amazing idea to release a testicle birth control. Who the hell asked for this? Was there people literally sending emails to Dyson, mails out there saying, hey, you know what, my sperm levels is really low this month. You know, can you make a device for it to actually get back to where it was? It's just...
Oh dear Lord.
And what makes this more amazing is the freaking video for it. I've seen this video a few times. I still laugh at the final ending. Oh goodness me. Anyway, you have to watch it because it's a masterpiece of epic proportion in terms of hilarious. I know one thing. I have now found the perfect Christmas gift for my mate Dimitri, and I think a lot of you guys out there should do too. So everyone, that's the end of another video on the channel, and the end of another TMIR Extra video. If you think that Dyson making a testicle birth control device is the maddest invention of the year, because I know I think it is, then just lean back and headbutt that motherfucking like button. You can also follow me on my social media platforms. Link is just down there in the description. I wish you all an amazing day out there. Stay safe and healthy too. Please like, subscribe. The Natural, the punk of YouTube, is out.